All right, the meeting of the Park Board of the City of Connersville is now in session. Please turn off all cell phone ringers. And Vane, you're up again to take the pledge.
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You do the roll, please.
Yes. Vane Lashua,
Here.
Scott Kiefaber,
Here.
Amy Hammonds.
Here.
Carrie Pfeiffer.
Here.
Ann Kirshner.
Here.
Harold Gordon.
Okay. Everybody have a chance to read over the minutes? If you have any additions or corrections?
There's only one apostrophe that I'd like to correct.
So you're the grammar police, Vane?
Thank you, Vane.
For community members' time.
Where was it?
The second page, I'm sorry.
Anybody else?
Grammar matters.
Yes, it does. It does.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I have a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay. All right, good on the minutes. Okay, new business. First up, actually, it'd be you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. We have received quite a few applications
Good.
for superintendent. I was really surprised at the number we had received. We are going to narrow that down to, I was going to narrow it down to 5, but I ran through several applications. We're going to narrow it down to 6.
Okay.
We're going to do a second and final interview with 2 members of the park board. Carrie and Amy are going to sit through those
Good.
last 2 rounds with me. I think it's a good thing to do to bring the park board in on that. It is an appointed position, but I want to show that we are working together, striving forward. To be honest, I have a lot of big goals that we want to do for the park, and I want to work as a team going forward because I do have a lot of big things we want to do at the park. So they're going to help me with the last 2. They're going to be more grueling interviews, so it's going to be a long day for them, but that is where we're at with the superintendent position.
Okay, very good. I'm glad that you did ask these ladies to be part of that because month after next, I won't be here anymore. So really, my opinion probably wouldn't count too much at that point in time.
Oh,
So,
no, your opinion always matters no matter what, whether you're here or not, so.
And just as an FYI, I got reelected to the school board, and I inherited this position again, too.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Scott says, will you do this? And I go, well, put it out there. There were no takers, so you're stuck with me, too, so.
Well, I appreciate the work you're putting in on this, and I do appreciate the fact that you did bring these ladies in to help. I think it's a big step on that, because that way we have a vision here we've been working on, and that way we can keep it moving forward as well.
Yep.
Okay. All right, very good. All right, next thing on the agenda is the Centerville High School prom. They requested some dates to use the Miller Building. They discussed the interlocal agreement, and as far as I know, I went back and read the local interlocal agreement for Fayette County Schools. That's the only one the park system has. There is no interlocal agreement with Centerville, which would be Wayne County Schools. So at this point in time, they would have to pay regular rates, and if our school system would take priority on, in my opinion, would take priority of getting the Miller Center for the prom moving forward. I think we have to look at that because of the interlocal agreement. They would take precedent. So at this point in time, we can't help them much. Okay?
If there were a conflict of dates.
If there were a conflict of dates. If there's no conflict of dates, they have to pay regular price anyway. Okay? All right. Anybody have any questions on that or any concerns?
Centerville Abington's a separate entity from Wayne County Schools, though, too. So.
And they still don't have an agreement with us.
We don't have an interlocal agreement.
Right, so, okay. All righty. And then we have a horse barn application, which that's relating to Ray Allen, I believe. Okay. Have you talked to him, Kate?
Yes, he came into the office and
Okay.
applied.
All right.
My recommendation is going to be to deny that.
Okay, I'm not familiar with him, I haven't talked to him, so,
The situation, I'm not for sure the tie, it's the same number, same address as the lawsuit we went through with a different person's name. And so after consulting Jeff and everyone, my recommendation is to deny that rental application.
okay. All righty. Well, considering the information we just got, all those in favor, considering that our legal counsel recommended against it, all those in favor of denying this?
Is there any more information about why, or what the denials were about?
I don't know that you can share that.
No.
I don't think you can.
No. Shall we say there's probable cause to believe we might have this situation in the
I
future?
can't, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, it's the same situation we just went through, and the recommendation was to deny the rental.
So then on recommendation from the mayor?
Recommendation from the mayor that this be denied.
Yeah.
That's what we have to go with, okay?
Yes.
So, all those in favor of denying on recommendation from the mayor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, then denied. Okay. All righty. No dentist tonight. Okay, I do know that we've got a few things ramping up, correct?
Yes, boys basketball ends on Thursday by 4 p.m. After that, we will not be taking any more registrations. We have a little over 75 signed up now between all three age groups. We have several groups for church league signed up already. Unfortunately, volleyball didn't have enough teams to go, so that wasn't able to get started. Indoor soccer is also open,
Okay,
and that's it for right
Okay.
now.
Okay,
Yes.
indoor soccer, I know the date for basketball is 12/1. Is the date for indoor soccer also 12/1?
No, it is 12:15, I believe.
12/15 on that one, thank you. Okay.
all righty, our next group is superintendent report. Mayor can probably catch us up because he's been handling that at this point in time.
Well, Diana's been handling a lot of it, so we've had a lot going on. I guess the thing I would like to remind everyone is the Christmas in the Park coming up December 8th from 5 to 8 p.m. I'd love to see your participation there if you can. I know everyone has conflicts, but I think we're going to have a great turnout. We've got a lot of things happening with the live reindeer, live carriage, we have live reindeer carriage rides, we have crafts, we have family resources, snacks, and hot chocolate. We're going to have photos with Santa, and it's going to be live streamed this year. So I think that'd be good. That's John's doing. He came up with that, so I think it's going to be a great time. It's all sponsored by Hedro. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great evening. So if you can come out and have some fun, come on out.
What time does that start again?
5 to 8.
Okay.
And that's on December 8th, which is a
December 8th.
Thursday.
Okay, very good.
I don't have a ball game. Basically
Okay.
speaking, the sponsor's taking care
Yes.
of it all?
Yes, and Family Resources really pull it off too. They come together and they pull their network to get the snacks and the crafts, and they bring a bunch of people, so they're really excited to be part of it. I'm excited to have them along with the ride, I should say. But it's going to be a good event, so we got a lot of excitement. A lot of people are joining the team to really pull this off and get it done. The only thing I would have, it's not really a report. I don't really know how to do it under, I guess I can do it under miscellaneous business, but I do have the resignation from Harold Gordon, effective December 1st. We are going to we have a replacement we're talking to. I'm not ready to announce that yet, but it had to be approved through City Council, but I'm looking to do that, depending on their schedule, the first meeting in December. So that is coming up. We do have, I'm not sure many on the claim docket because there was some in transition with some emails getting lost. They were sending stuff to me and it, for some reason, did not get there. We have a $80,500 claim for the bridge. Did that make it on the claim docket, do you know?
Not that
Okay.
I'm aware of.
I do have the check, Rosemary printed a check as part of the contract, so when we do claims, I'd like to approve the $80,500 check for the bridge.
Okay.
That's one thing I do need to add to that. And I think it came through late. When did he call me? Late Wednesday, he called me.
Yeah, that's what
And
all
he was,
been done.
yeah, he was asking about it, and he sent the email, but we did not get it, so we finally got it, and I want to get it on the docket, so I do want to make sure that gets taken care of.
You got that number again?
80,500.
8,500? Okay.
Progress is coming along nicely.
Yes, we have one little problem that we've got to figure out, but other than that, I think everything else is going good.
Okay, good. Before we get to old business, I'll let Brad go ahead and talk about what he came to talk about so we can get that dealt with.
Thank you. Howdy.
Hello.
I wanted to come give you a report on where we are on Smalley's. I'm not sure the last time I was here if we had done the groundwater sampling yet.
No, I don't believe so.
So when we did groundwater sampling, we found trichloroethylene still under the park.
Okay.
And so we decided at that point we would get an IDEM specific permit with all the cards on the table. Okay, this situation, how should we do this? We expect to have that permit probably before the end of this week. So we hope to start dewatering. So what we'll do is we'll put a monitoring well on the north side of the pond, and then we'll have an extraction well between it and the pond. So if and when we start pulling chemicals into this monitoring well, then we'll start extracting those out of the ground and treating them in the wastewater plant.
Okay.
Good.
So all in all, this could be a good thing. We may take some of those chemicals out from under the park. Might help the situation long-term a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask that you guys just close the park until we get done with this project.
That's probably a good
I think.
move. We're due to close it here shortly anyway. I think that happens.
Thursday.
This week.
Is it
This week,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's this week.
it's closes officially
I
December.
think this week, December
December
1st.
1st, November 3rd.
I think with the possibility that we could be pumping chemicals out of the ground and it'll just be safer. And then as we go along, we'll just evaluate the situation.
Right.
I'll come give you reports every so often and we'll talk about it and see what happens. Maybe we won't get any chemicals,
Right.
hopefully. But the other situation is that it's very likely we empty the pond or at least lower the level of it. So I think you knew that we stopped them from putting any new fish in.
Right.
And we asked DNR to get involved in relocating the fish, but they didn't want anything to do with that project, just with
Okay.
the conditions and everything, the
Right.
unknowns. So hopefully the pond won't empty, but we're sort of prepared for a plan of action in case it does.
Right.
Been working with Andrea at the Soil and Water to figure out ways to mitigate the situation as it, but it's so unknown how it's
Right.
gonna work. Nobody really knows if the pond is fed with a spring or if it's fed by the river or both, so we just have to play it by ear a little bit.
So what it boils down to basically is, once the dewatering starts, we have to possibly expect the level of the pond to change either way. So I guess that needs to be put out there, that the pond could shrink, or it may not shrink at all. So,
I've been trying to put it out there, just so it's
Yeah.
not a great shock to anybody.
well, that's why I wanted to basically make sure that everybody understands here, that's what's
Yeah.
gonna happen, so it's a public knowledge, because there will, even though we close it, there will be people walking back there no matter what, and somebody will freak out if they go back there and see the pond's half what it used to be, so.
I was gonna offer to you, if you would like, we will handle like some signage at the
Okay.
gate that'll explain it's closed. and
Perfect.
There's a project going on.
Perfect.
Well, I think if we let it be known too that we have a wastewater, potentially damaging wastewater situation, we're not closing the park because we feel like closing the park, but we have a
Yeah.
serious pollution situation that we're trying to mitigate. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
How long will the, how long
Well, the dewatering period is 6 months. I think that we should expect that the park probably won't be open in 2023. By
Yeah.
the time we're done extracting water and get everything cleaned up and in a safe situation.
And we don't want, particularly during the summer months when there's so many more people using the park and the likelihood of them getting exposed to the chemical waters is pretty high.
Yeah.
Well, I think at this stage with everything that's happening, the way that's going to work out, I think you should readdress us in about the time that the park should reopen. So that way we can go ahead and everybody can get together.
I'll sort of plan on coming back every few months and
That'd be
just
great.
a couple
Okay,
of months and
that's
say, hey, here's where we are today.
Right.
Here's where we're looking at.
Because the way it sounds, it's probably, you're right, it's probably not going to open in 2023. But that way, right before it opens, we can readdress it, and that way they can bring it out to the board, and the board can make
Yep.
the decisions.
Yeah.
How will it affect the walking, the trails around? Is that what you're closing?
I think all that should be closed.
Yes.
Why? It's the, I mean.
We have-
danger.
There are monitoring wells that sort of go around the perimeter of the north end and around the river. It's not unlikely that we'll sample those wells every so often. We're going to be over there sampling, and these wells are, they're not dangerous, but we just don't want anybody messing around with it. That extraction well will have sort of big equipment on that, pumping equipment, and there'll be hoses, I mean, big ones, strung across the, probably the west side of the pond coming around towards the wastewater plant. So it's just a bunch of stuff that, you know, we could be pumping chemicals through, and we don't want to put anybody in an unsafe situation. This is very unfortunate. I thought I would just say again, I probably have already, but okay, people probably ask, why are you doing this? Well, the situation that we have, we're under an agreed order with the state of Indiana. The city is, you know, the mayor's, whatever mayor is in office is on the hook for this to be done. And we have to do this wet weather overflow facility, and it has to be at that place. There's no other place for it to be but the end of the system. So nobody likes this, nobody wants to have to do this, but we don't have any choice. And it has to be there. And the truth is probably more construction will need to be done at the wastewater plant in the future. So we just decided we need to push through this and figure out how to do it in a proper way, so then in the future, if we have to do it again, we'll sort of have a plan.
It was my understanding that we have these problems now because they were not appropriately addressed 25 years ago.
Or longer.
And they did cap it. There is a cap up there in the most dangerous of places, but, you know, the standards in 1990 for mitigation of these kind of things and what they are today are different.
Yeah.
And we have a 1990 restoration down there. It's not the greatest.
Well, I appreciate your transparency and coming forward and letting us know what's happening over there. I think that's the big factor. We can't predict what's going to happen. Nobody can. So we just have to take it a step at a time.
I don't think it behooves anybody to make it some dirty little secret.
No.
We just need to tell the truth and have everybody understand it.
Right?
For protection purposes. It's not that we want to close this park. We recognize how an important part of the culture of the community it is, particularly in the summertime. There are people out there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, we have to, but we don't want our citizens being exposed to potentially very, very dangerous chemicals.
But I'm willing, if anybody in the public has questions about this, I'm willing to talk about it,
Okay.
answer questions, if any of you ever have any questions. You know, we have so many experts involved in this, you can't believe it, of every kind of scientist on this deal. And we're trying to do our best to keep everybody safe, so.
Very good.
Good, thank you.
Is the budget for the project under the city, the county, or where is the money coming from?
The utilities borrowed the money from SRF. It's basically federal funding that funds our loan that we have to pay back. But it's a $21 million project, so we got to push through this and get it figured out. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, on to old business real quick. December meeting date.
December 26th,
Which we,
That is the,
Monday after Christmas.
yeah. Do you want to push it up? Do you want to push it back?
did want to discuss what we mentioned the other day.
What do you guys think?
City Hall is closed that day too.
I figured because that's the actual recognition of the holiday, isn't it?
So we discussed a January meeting too, because that will be when we have our new
Sure.
park board members, and Carrie's going to be away. So depending upon, Thane, are you going to be around the first of the year or in December? What's your schedule?
Well, I'll be there, but the 19th would be,
December 19th?
Is that our city
Is that a
council?
city?
Yeah,
City
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 council.
council
City
meeting.
council?
For some reason, I have the 27th in my calendar. I don't know if that's been
The day after the
a
holiday.
determination from the
that
park
might,
board meeting or
that's
not.
good.
And that's a possibility, or are you going to be in town though?
Um,
27th?
December 27th, I will be here, yes.
Okay. 'Cause
yeah.
Can everybody meet that one? It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's also the invitational tournament that the high school's doing, and I told them I would help, but I could probably get out for a meeting,
Okay.
so.
All right. Why don't we move to 27th? That way we get it done before the end of the year. Okay.
I move we move the meeting to the 27th.
Okay. All right, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, all those opposed? Good. So 27th it is, 6:30 PM. Okay. All right, we have any miscellaneous business to discuss?
I do, a couple things.
Sure.
Just so everyone's aware, if you're wondering why the lights went up a little late at the park, we got some new lights for them.
Nice.
A lot of the lights they had were not in good condition, and plus they were just typical household lights outside. So we got some outdoor LED lights. I took them out of my budget and then moved them over to the park. City council approved that. And we also, which I believe I have about all of them up, if not all of them up already. Then I also took some money out of my budget for tools that they needed. They were
Good.
trying to do some projects, and I went over and visited with them, didn't like what I saw, so we got
They
them
get
some-
by.
we got them some new tools. The good thing with the tools they got is, so like their miter saw, it's plug-in, it's in the shop, so if they're working somewhere, they had to bring it all the way back to shop. We got the Milwaukee battery system. So their miter saw is a battery, they got a new table saw, everything's battery, so we got some upgraded drills and
Good.
impactors, so now when they're out on the job site, they can just take it with them and they don't have to worry about running back and forth, so.
Guys are starting to really like you, I bet.
Increase efficiency, and those LED lights will pay for
Christmas
themselves
came early.
Yeah.
for a while.
Well, they gotta have the right tools to do their
Right.
job, so.
They do.
And the budgets are getting tight. I know next year that we've tightened the budget, and so we took some money out of my budget that I saved for other projects and just, I moved them over there instead, so.
Well, we appreciate
We
that.
appreciate
But
that.
I wanted to have the tools that they need.
Can't put it together with baling wire and chewing gum, dog.
No, and we got a lot of things that we're trying to do with them, so it helps to have the tools.
I agree. All right, very good.
Thank you.
All righty, that's it for miscellaneous business. Now, I need a motion to accept claims, including payroll, and the $80,500 check for the bridge fund.
I'll make that motion.
We got a first, need a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of claims, including payroll, and the $80,500 check for the bridge, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, claims passed. Anybody for public? Don't think so.
There were several came in.
Yeah, I saw them, so, okay. All right, I need a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.